welcome back to another Predicting the Euros 2020. Today we're going to be looking at the last 16 lineup and also reviewing some of my group stage predictions from what I thought was match day 3. So so first of all, from Group A, I predicted it all correct: Italy, Wales and Switzerland to go through, and they all did. Group B, I predicted Denmark and Belgium. They both did. So yeah, 5 out of 5 so far. Group C, was this a good group? I think Group C was good. Yeah, I think Group C, I said, yeah, Group C, it was alright. I said Netherlands, Austria and Ukraine, they all went through. So 8 out of 8 so far. Then I also, for Group D, I said England, Czech Republic and Croatia, I think. So that's 11 out of 11. Now, Group C, Group E, it comes tumbling down. Group E, I said Sweden, Spain and Slovakia. It was only Sweden and Spain, so now we're on 13 out of 14. In Group F, I said that Germany wouldn't go through, when they indeed did. France and Portugal went through, just as I said. So I got 14 out of the 16 teams correct. So basically, what I predicted that was incorrect was that Slovakia would go... In fact, I got 15 out of the 16 correct. No, I got 14 out of 16 correct. So I got 2 from Group... No, I got 2 from Group F as well, so I got 15 out of 16 correct. So the only thing I got wrong was thinking that Slovakia would go through instead of Germany, but I don't think anybody really saw Spain 5-0 Slovakia coming, because Slovakia's not a bad team, I don't think, and Germany, I just didn't think they could make it through just because of the point system. But yeah, Denmark did indeed pull off a victory in the end, and boy, what a victory it was. It was pretty emphatic and a very good way to do it against Russia. Very emotional celebration. So yeah, looking ahead to the last 16, tomorrow afternoon we've got Wales versus Denmark. I'm going to say that after 90 minutes, I'm going to say 1-1. After 120 minutes, I'm going to say 1-1. Penalties, oh, you just can't predict this, can you? You just cannot predict penalties. I mean, well, I'm going to say Denmark wins. And I know this, it sounds biased a bit because I'm supporting Denmark here, because, you know, I don't think you couldn't support Denmark unless it was your own country, because of what, after Denmark, I don't think, like, what I mean is, I'd support Denmark literally all the time unless it was England now, unless it was my own country, England, you know, just that's being patriotic, but you gotta hand it to Denmark. They've done so well to get through in all the odds stacked against them. They've done really well. You can't kind of not support them, but, you know, I think that Denmark will win on penalties because A, they want to, and B, if you saw that penalty Gareth Bale missed against Turkey, I think if they if they give him a penalty, let him take one of the penalties, which I'm sure they will because he is the captain, and he is probably one of the best strikers. So yeah, I think that Denmark will go through. I like pretty 5-4, 6-5, I don't really know. Not really predicting the score. Then we look at tomorrow night, which is really just a walkover, I'm sorry to say. Italy versus Austria. I'd say 3-0 Italy. So they've had a pair of 3-0 wins over Turkey and Switzerland. It was 1-0 over Wales, but, you know, I'd say Austria aren't as good as Italy. Italy are on pretty good form at the moment. And, you know, if they keep getting these easier, shorter teams, they're not going to really concede a goal yet. So I think that's fair to say. But I think Italy's unbeaten streak and record of not conceding any goals, I think that is about to come to an end sometime in this tournament. I don't think they're going to win this tournament without conceding a goal. If they're going to win it at all, I don't think they're going to win it. I'm probably going to say France, Belgium or England. Obviously England, there's a lot of bias in that. Come on to that later, we haven't even got to England's match. Looking at Sunday, we got Netherlands versus Czech Republic. Well, I'd say Netherlands have won that. I'm going to say 2-1 to the Netherlands. You know, Netherlands are playing pretty well in this tournament. They're a pretty good team overall, but you can't knock Czech Republic's performance so far. It is pretty decent. And Sunday night is the clash of the Titans, let's call it, because, you know, it's two very good teams, two very big teams. You've got very good players from both Portugal and Belgium. Portugal, obviously, Ronaldo. And Belgium, you've got Kevin De Bruyne, I think his name is, and Romelu Lukaku. So yeah, they're both really good strikers. They've both scored a hell of a lot of goals in this tournament so far. Of the two Belgians I just mentioned, the two Belgian players. Ronaldo too, yeah, I think he's on record. I think he's on track for the Golden Boot so far. 5 goals. Mind you, 3 of those were penalties. That France game, though. penalty. That could have just been a penalty shootout. France did actually score a goal that wasn't a penalty, but Portugal's were both penalties from Ronaldo. Anyway, yeah, where were we? So that was Sunday night. So Monday afternoon is definitely has one of the most tightest draws on the thing, gods have to say, in Croatia versus Spain. Well, I'd have to say that Croatia versus Spain, that's a tough one. So Croatia got to the World Final, obviously, in 2018, but Spain, you know, that performance against Slovakia was absolutely sublime. I didn't watch that match, I was watching the other one, Sweden and Poland. But, yeah, they kept showing it, and man, okay, Slovakia did give 2 own goals, but Spain missed a penalty as well, so, you know, it could have been 6-0 if Spain had got that. Obviously, you take away the own goals, 4-0, but still a very respectable scoreline. Even without penalty and without the own goal, still a 3-0 win, very respectable. And Croatia, I don't really think they've shown anywhere near their best, or certainly not what the standard they showed in 2018. That defeat to England wasn't very impressive. That Czech Republic game, I would have thought Croatia would win that. And then the what was it? What did they play after that? Scotland. Scotland, you know, probably a bit inexperienced as well. They haven't played on an international stage for a very long time until this tournament, and you know those players probably wouldn't have been around in 1996 when they last played in it. No, it was 1998, wasn't it? I don't know, 96 or 98. I think it was 98, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, so probably a lack of experience from Scotland as well. So of course you'd think Croatia would win that. Having said that, England did draw against Scotland 0-0, but that was a very poor performance from England, and you know they were all saying Scotland was the better team in that match. So Spain and Croatia, I think I'd have to say a 2-1 victory for Spain, and yeah, Spain to go through to the quarterfinals, obviously. And then we look ahead to Monday night. Oh my god, who is playing on Monday night? Is it France and Switzerland? I don't know. Well, I know who's playing on Tuesday afternoon. That's the big one, England versus Germany. So okay, well, let's talk about France versus Switzerland first. I think France is playing Switzerland. I think France have got that in the bag. I'm saying France would win that 3-0. I'm saying 3-0. Switzerland, you know. Okay, Switzerland didn't play badly against Turkey in the 3-1 win, but I don't think Turkey's that good of a team. I'm not really sure. I mean, not really. I don't really think I've ever seen them in a major event before this one, you know. But then again, I haven't, you know, well. In Group A, come to think of it, just on a side note, in Group A from this year's tournament, only one of those teams was in the World Cup, wasn't it? Just Switzerland. I don't think Italy was in the World Cup in 2018. I really don't think Italy was in the World Cup. I can't remember Italy in the World Cup, I can tell you that. Turkey definitely weren't in it, and Wales 100% they weren't in it. Yeah, but yeah, France versus Switzerland, say 3-0 to France. What other ones were there before we got onto the England game? Who else went through? Ukraine and Sweden, that's the one. Ukraine versus Sweden, now that's Tuesday night, I know that for a fact, because England versus Germany and Sweden versus Ukraine are both on the same day, and that's going to decide one of the quarterfinal draws. I remembered that like that, if you understand that explanation. But yeah, Sweden versus Ukraine. I hate to say it, but I hate to say it, but I think Sweden will win that one. I mean, Sweden hadn't played badly in this tournament. It's just a shame. Just a shame for Ukraine. They played really well in this tournament, and I'd love to see them get to the quarters. You know, I mean, I think they're a bit underestimated, because you know, I think they played really well so far. You can't deny that. So yeah, I'm gonna say 2-1 to Sweden, and then comes down to the massive game, the big one, England versus Germany. Oh, how do I begin to talk about this? Because are England really that bad of a team, or are we just overlooking it? Like, I don't think England are a bad team. I think maybe they're not on good form at the moment. I think that has to be said. But, I don't know if they're on good form. I know for a fact people aren't happy with Harry Kane's performance. But you can't knock some of the other players. Raheem Sterling, for example, you know. He's scored the 2 goals that England have scored so far. Jude Bellingham, 17 years old, pretty impressive. So, it's not too bad for England. They could still get a decent performance. Germany, well, Hungary took them to a draw, but Hungary took France to a draw. I think Hungary really played to a very good standard in this tournament, and I really feel upset that they couldn't get through. I mean, they were 10 minutes from completely defying the odds, you'd have to say. I mean, it would have been an epic victory, and you'd have to say it would have been brilliant to see him go on to make a really deep run here, or even go on to win it. You never know. But Hungary is out. But let's focus on the game in question. England and Germany, I'd have to say it's a 1-1 draw. You just can't pick a winner there. I mean, I know that you'd think, obviously Germany, they've won 4 World Cups, England haven't won a World Cup in 55 years. Yes, that's true, but different players, Germany didn't play well in the 2018 World Cup at all. I mean, they won in 2014, quite epically. 2018? They lost to some really rubbish teams in 2018 to go out in the group stage. I think they got last place in that group. Germany are on great form. So I'm going to say 1-1 draw. And I'm going to say England's going to win on penalties, 5-4. Because England, they beat Colombia on penalties in the second round of the World Cup in 2018, I think. I remember watching that one. It's quite a good victory, and that was the point where you knew England are going to do well in this tournament. And it would probably be England versus Sweden in the quarterfinals if England got through, because I'm assuming Sweden are going to beat Ukraine, and that would be a repeat of the 2018 quarterfinal for England. I don't know if they can play Croatia in the semis. I think Croatia on the other half. Yes, Croatia, Spain. Yeah, so one half of the draw is pretty damn chill. It's really just got Germany and Netherlands for good teams, and then you got your medium sort of teams. You got England, your Denmark, Wales, and then the other half of the team is just complete. It's just like only one out of all those teams is going to get to the final. So you got Italy, Croatia. I don't know. Let's just not even include anything below excellent. You got Belgium, Portugal, France and Italy all on the same half of the draw. 4 out of the 8 teams on that half of the draw, man. No, 4 out of the 8 teams, is it? Yeah, 4 out of 8. 4 out of the 8 teams. That's crazy. They're that good. That's pretty impressive. And then some of the other teams aren't bad either. You got Spain, which is Spain and Croatia, which not bad. You got Switzerland, which isn't a bad team, but compared to the other teams on that half the draw, don't stand a chance. And then you got one other team who let me just think about it. Let me just think about this again. Is it Austria? Austria, yeah. Austria's probably not even as good as Switzerland. So yeah, Austria's definitely the weakest in that half. And the other half is really chill. Anybody could probably do it. You'd say Netherlands and Germany are obviously the best, and then. Or you could even say England's better than Germany. I'm predicting England to win that one. But that's probably out of just being hopeful. But you never know. If we beat Germany, we could go on to... If we beat Germany, we're nearly there, We've nearly won the tournament. I mean, I know that sounds a bit like I'm writing some other teams off, like Sweden and probably Netherlands or whatever, but it has to be said, England can beat those teams. They can just roll the momentum forward and build it up like a snowball. They could win this event, so you never know. I'm really interested to know what you think about the second round, what your predictions are. I'd love to hear them. Please leave a comment down below on which teams you think will get down and what draws you think will happen, what matches, scorelines, all that sort of thing. I'll try and respond to as many of them as I can. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you're having a great day, and goodbye.